Right, this video is of a because I'm not one man through breathing in the mould. I'm allergic to penicillin, have been for a kid, since a kid. Yeah, this property, in 5 days of moving in, which we were told there was no damp and mould, which when we saw it there wasn't, albeit there was a humidifier left on one of the windowsills. But what we now know is Havebury had been in prior to that, which they told us they'd only just got the keys, and we're seeing it as they're seeing it, which again lies, and that's from Scott Bridges. He told us that, who's one of the directors. He was here with the other members of staff who have lied. Anyway, in the 5 days of us moving in with hardly any furniture and putting the heating on, we then started having mould. Mould in a big way. So I reported it, and we are now 3 months on and they're still not sorted it. No. Look at that. And if you can see, it's a bit of a shape. Look, there's a shape there. There's a bit of a shape there. Well, this is now spreading. That's actually mould spores. Get closer. You can actually see the fur on the mould. And it's all around the windows. And when we start noticing it, we open the windows all were clean. But then we opened the windows and they were all mouldy already inside. So what they've done is they cleaned, but they hadn't opened the windows and gone and done this and cleaned all this. So we opened the windows like that, so we saw it's clean. Opened the windows and there was the mould. So we know there's issues. Not only that, you see the condensation. Now I've been up in the loft, and up above this, there is no loft insulation. None. That's why, they're saying you've got condensation issues and humidity issues. They're just popping me off. Because why have we got all mould over here when we got all mould over here? Because over here there's loft insulation. There's none over there, and the roof is leaking. There wasn't any here, but when they came up here, they then disturbed and had a look up there to see there was no loft insulation. They then disturbed this, and I've been up since, and there's now no loft insulation in there. Hence we've got the mould again. Our bedroom. You can see it clearly on the camera. Mould. Again, look at the shape. Notice the shape. The shape's forming there. Sort of none there, and then it's there. Because again, I've been up in the loft. There's no loft insulation up here, and the roof is leaking. All around the windows. All the light. Think about it, it's right over in far corners of areas. Why? Because they can't get to that area to put loft insulation in. I've been up there and seen for myself. They've even had Havebury contractors come round, or Havebury staff, who one says, John, you've got a leak on the roof, and then another says, you haven't. And one says, you've got humidity, and then another says, you haven't. And then there's a guy called Steve Harrison, who is a lovely guy, works for Havebury. He told me the truth. And yes, the roof is leaking. Yes, there is hardly any loft insulation up there. And in some areas, none. We've since been to speak to neighbours. Look at the windows, the streaming. Look at the windows. I can't see out of there. Water. Mould. That's why, if you notice these green strips, we put them on to catch the condensation, water coming down. Because the windows don't fit either. There's gaps in them. So we spoke to the neighbours, who told us, neighbours who literally live from the corner one here, lived there 50 years, they told us all the stories about this property. And Havebury, you lied to me, because the last lot that was in here, it took you 3 weeks to clean the place and empty it. And that's when you cleaned it all up and put liquor paint around it, covered it up. Go in the far corner again, think about it. I'm showing you corners. So why have we got a bit of patchy mould there and a bit of patchy mould there, but everywhere else? No. Bit over here, but over here, none. Because in this area, all this area, you've got loft insulation, you can get to it. Corners, you can't. And the roof is leaking. Go into our daughter's bedroom. Look, up the top there. We put this in. Because we moved to this place on December the 24th. We moved with nothing. Because our last probably had all the damp and mould. See another one of our videos. But this is shocking. This is our daughter's bedroom. Look. You can actually see, if you look up on the camera, you can actually see the shape. There's no loft insulation over there. There's another bit there. Some of it's got a little bit of loft insulation. Most of it over in the corners haven't got any. Look, mold spores. There we go. Look at the state of the windows. Look at the mould. The windows are shot, they're not sealed. No loft insulation and a leaking roof. And Havebury had done this to our last property. We told them the loft insulation was so wet, they came and took it all out in June and never replaced it. And on December the 2nd, I was pronounced dead in that property. Paramedics turned up, saw that our living conditions, which was worse than this, but this is going that way in the space of 2 months, and they put a code red and condemned the property. It wasn't habitable. Not only did they move me to the hospital, they then moved my wife and daughter out of that place. And what did Havebury do? They put us into the Dragonfly Hotel until this one came up. But that was costing them, I believe, around about £2 a week. And then all of a sudden this came up, supposedly. I'd only just seen it, apparently, which we know is lies. So we have proof of that. So, there you have it. This is still ongoing, as we are suing Havebury Housing Association on many, many accounts. They think we're not, but Andrew Smith, that is the CEO, I've requested via emails, via phone call recordings, to a chap called Steve Leathers, to a lady called Stephanie, to Steve Bridges, that I've had enough, numerous complaints, and I wish to meet with the CEO, because I bet he doesn't know half of this or what's going on. We'll keep you updated, keep watching my videos.